if you've got a student who's arriving in your classroom and they've got an IEP or 504 plan, particularly for those who have documentation, I believe in starting with the documentation, right? So sitting down with that young person, pulling out that folder and beginning with the first test, the first evaluations, reading all that material out loud with them, engaging in a dialogue between them and these labels. And some of these labels can be very problematic. Some of these definitions can be very, can just like sort of pull the power and the strength out of who someone is. But I believe in starting there, right? And because I think, unfortunately, in many communities and many families, we think that for some reason we are saving our kids by not having a conversation about all of this testing and what have you. So I think having a conversation and beginning with the documentation is a great place to go. But all of that is really about just giving them an opportunity to start to redefine who they are as a learner, right? To create their own definition as a learner, right? So, you know, whether you begin with federal definitions and how it connects to some testing that they've received, right? Or just like a cultural understanding of like, this is what your difference is. Ultimately, I think it's that young person's prerogative to sit down and say, okay, I'm dyslexic, but what does dyslexia mean to me? It can be important, particularly if someone has a diagnosed disability, to give them the language to be able to talk to other people about how their mind works, how their body works, and what they need to be successful in a variety of environments, right? And that is role playing. That's saying, okay, you know, I'm going to be your teacher. You've never met me before. You know, you're on the autism spectrum. Come up to me and explain to me who you are, right? And what do you need in this math class to be successful? I'm going to be your employer, right? Explain to me what you need in order to do this job well. That self-disclosure piece, I think, is really, really, really important, particularly for those of us who have like the quote-unquote hidden disabilities, right? Because no one's going to look at us and see a wheelchair and then start sizing up what they need in order to support us. It all begins in our language.